Okay, so I'm going to teach you what is called conscious yoga breathing. I'm going to teach you that from my lineage, which is the lineage of Krishnamacharya yoga, and the reason I say that there is some of you who practice yoga already will find this possibly quite confrontational, in that it is not the same breath that seems to be quite commonly in the yoga world. And I give you my lineage because it is a very authentic lineage. It's been around since the dawn of yoga, and I have 100% faith in it, and have found this breath life-changing for my yoga practice. Okay, I'd been practicing for 15 years, just the way that everybody else does, and then I was exposed to this breath technique, and it deeply changed my yoga practice and my life, actually. That's why I want to pass it on. So the thing about it is that it's the only important thing really is realizing, yes, there are two parts of the breath, and each part has a really, really different function. So the inhale in each and every breath is about the taking in, it's about receiving. And the exhale is about letting go, removing, getting rid of. So it's this very simple, fundamental process that we do thousands of times a day without even thinking about it, and we do it from the minute we're born until we drop dead. Drop dead until we die. So the yoga breathing is about not your normal daily breath. This is about a specific breathing that at particular times you bring your awareness to, and bring your breath into this pattern so you can receive the benefits of it. And so what it's about is I want you to do it alongside with me. And the big challenge for most people is where I'm going to tell you to put your inhale. So despite the rumours and the widespread use of the term and the practice of the belly breath, I'm asking you instead to breathe, inhale into your chest. Now I'm going to explain that why slightly, so that you don't initially reject it, which some people will who are heavily attached to belly breathing. If you think about the belly breath and this term that they say diaphragmatic breathing, you have to use your diaphragm when you breathe. You cannot breathe without your diaphragm moving. It's what your diaphragm does every single time you breathe. And your body has two cavities in the thorax, in the body part. So the diaphragm is the part, the dividing line, say. So in the top cavity you have your lungs, and in the separate, completely separate cavity, like that, they're sealed off from each other. It's like two plastic bags, and the bottom plastic bag is your intestines, what we might call your guts. So what happens when you breathe in, your lungs expand, they get bigger, and they expand. And what that then does is, because that plastic bag's got bigger, it has squished, it puts pressure on the bottom plastic bag, and that's where your belly is. And yes, your belly does get fat. It expands at the end of an inhale. But it doesn't expand before your lungs. So this idea of belly breathing, that you're trying to get your belly out big and fat first, is actually misinformation. What you're trying to do first, and I put my hands on my body, and I get all my students to do it by putting their hand on their body, because when I say chest, when you breathe into your chest first, you've got a big chest. I mean, it could be up by your collarbones, it could be behind your breast, it could be on the sides of your ribs, anywhere, by your heart. But what you want to start trying to do is the feeling that you're actually filling up your chest first. So, and no, I'm not saying that you're bringing your shoulders up to breathe. Nobody mentioned your shoulders. Your shoulders just stay where they are. But somehow your rib cage is expanding. So you feel, and it's, for some people, it's like, I can't feel any movement in my chest. And that would indicate that you're actually not breathing very well. and that you need to practice over time, trying to get the feeling of inhaling into your chest so it's got nice and full, and yes, by the end of it, you can't see on this video, but my hand's on my lower belly and it's got really quite fat by the end of my inhale. And then when you exhale, you use your abdominal muscles and you pull the belly back to the spine, and that supports your exhale. Then you remember to relax your belly again. So it's inhale into the chest. By the end of the inhale, you've got a nice round fat belly, and then to exhale, pull the belly back to the spine. Pull it, pull it, pull it, and then relax your belly before you take the next inhale. And also, what is also happening as you inhale into your chest like that, what it does is it actually lengthens your spine, particularly in this top part of your spine at the back here. Now, all of you watching this video are probably women heading towards menopause, so you are probably already in the age group that what's starting to happen is parts of the spine are losing their mobility. And I'm reaching my hand back there because unfortunately that's the part of the spine that starts to seize up first. That area sort of between where the bra strap is to the back of the head. You'll see it. I mean, some of us have already started to get kind of humps there. I think there's a special name for it. I can't remember what that is. That's the part of the spine that seizes up. And then as you see, as people age, that curvature in the spine just gets more and more and more. So with this conscious breath where you inhale into that chest, you're opening your heart, which is a good thing, but more importantly, you're lengthening that spine right in the place where it needs to be lengthened. So if you do that a few times, particularly standing up, what you'll feel is that sense of expansion, lightness, energy, goodness, and then as you exhale from the belly, you can feel that your legs go strong and you feel quite grounded. So it's this beautiful balance between inhaling and receiving energy, taking it right through your whole body, and exhaling, feeling grounded and strong and releasing anything that you don't want. So I hope that made sense to you, and more than that, I hope that you try it a few times. If you get the feel of it and like it, put it into your day. You don't have to do heaps. 10 breaths in the morning is a really good start, and a few throughout the day and a few before you go to bed. And that is a yoga practice in itself. Namaste.